Welcome back to the Mohegan Sun. New England with a 21-point lead, and the ladies fight now.
Don't underestimate me because of my size.
They're pretty slick. Then they'll always underestimate with the power.
This, match number 6, and the final match of the first half should turn out to be a really good one, Richard.
Yep, Santiago giving away 2 inches in height. Let's see if that makes any difference in the outcome of this particular match.
Vidal Ortiz, Golden Gloves, kickboxing champion, a good resume, but the same can be said for Santiago. At 22 years of age, Golden Gloves champ, 5th degree black belt, so 2 very heavily armored women.
Yeah, I like the way Santiago uses the ring. Notice she uses a lot of sidestepping and everything. Try and keep the other fighter off balance and not able to set up their good shots. But as you say, with Vidal Ortiz, very, very effective fighter. Look at the abs. I mean, look at the shape that girl's in. Nice and tight, too. Notice the nice guard that Vidal Ortiz has. Very much like a boxer would stand. Doesn't tend to drop those hands very much, as opposed to Santiago, who likes to drop the hands when she throws the kicks. That can be very dangerous, as they say in the rules, where both fighters are told they've just got to continually throw leather at each other.
So if you're the coach of the New York Clash, you're down by 21. You know you got Santiago coming in here, and you're going to go into halftime after this fight. Do you ask Santiago to go for the knockout, or do you have her just stay in the fight knowing she's got such a tough opponent?
I think you've got to go for the knockout, or at least you've got to keep constant pressure on your opponent. There's no good hanging back and fighting defensively. The judges react to pressure. They react to a stand-up fighter. And I think that's what Santiago's got to do in this match. Mind you, not an easy task against Ortiz, who is, again, got a very good defense, very strong hands, and strong boxing skills.
Yeah, Vidal Ortiz there getting 1 point given to Santiago. Ortiz was hanging onto her arm and clinching, not allowed here in the World Combat League.
Once again, notice the difference in style. Santiago with that sidestepping, hands held low, which is very much like a point fighter would fight. And Ortiz, again, very much with the boxer stance.
Just over a minute left in match number 6, first half action, and energy is a precious commodity at this point.
Absolutely. This is where conditioning plays an important role in this sort of match. You must have anaerobic as well as aerobic endurance, meaning you've got to be like a sprinter as well as a long-distance runner to get through effectively in this type of match. Both fighters very wary, showing a lot of respect for each other. Ortiz using that left front kick to try and keep a bit of distance, keep Santiago away from her.
Santiago and the New York Clash have the 1 point for the clinching in their favor. All they need is Santiago maybe to hang on here and possible victory.
Yeah, Santiago's got, again, she's got to take it to Vidal Ortiz. She cannot stay back and just fight defensively. And that seems to be what she's trying to do. But again, Ortiz very, very strong with her hands. Very good boxer's hands. See how she holds that guard very high, just very quarter steps, just taking it up to Santiago. Santiago trying to cover a little more range and use some body mass to get power in her punches against Ortiz.
And down to the mat as we come to the end of match number 6. And neither fighter really dominating, but both fighters in the fight and in the game.
Santiago, again, using very much a point fighter style and closing that gap with strong hands, trying to use her left and right knees there. She's got to be careful of that clinching. Hanging onto the back of the neck, again, is not allowed in order to throw those knees. Ortiz coming back with some body shots and then some shots to the head. Look at those hands of Ortiz. Again, very tight. Nice defense. Ending up on the ground, of course, from a clinch, which, as we say, is not allowed in the WCL rules.
It was, for all intents and purposes, kind of a blue-collar fight, real workman's kind of fight. Santiago with a win there, 15-11. So New York staying in the game. New England not running away with this, and that is great news as they head into the half now. So 6 matches down, 6 to go.
Yep. Let's go, hands in, let's go. On 3, New York, big time. Work for the team turn, work for the team ready. 1, 2, 3, New York!
Start us off strong. Right here. Ready? On 3. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
There's a good look at the mindset inside the locker room for both teams as we head into second half action with New England in the lead. Out of the gates, we'll have Shannon the Cannon Hudson and Philip Quinones. And when they met in the first half, Shannon Hudson with a good 15-10 win.
Yeah, it's Hudson's coming in with a psychological advantage due to his win over Quinones in the first round. It's very hard for a fighter to come back from that sort of a loss on the same night. Quinones, though, in good shape. He's got a lot of heart, and let's see if he can take it to Hudson in this second round.
Quinones is going to need to dig deep and find something. New England with the lead, obviously. New York needs to stay in the game. If they go 1 or 2 losses in a row, that could be devastating to the momentum that they've already established by winning the last 3 before the first half.
A little bit like the first round. Quinones scoring well with those kicks. He's got some nice long-ranging side kicks. He uses that distance well. As you see, there was a front kick followed up with a nice head combination. But Hudson, very experienced fighter. You can see he's just waiting and choosing his mark. And I think the second half is when you see Hudson come into his own once again.
You can easily see, watching Hudson with the height advantage, how much does that play as an advantage for him?
It can be an advantage for Hudson if he uses it, meaning that if he uses the extra range he has in his kicks and basically keeps Quinones away, then Hudson has an advantage. Quinones, on the other hand, has to get inside Hudson's reach. Then he will, in turn, have the advantage. But I think Hudson, again, with his experience, is pretty good at keeping the other fighter at the distance that he finds comfortable. Quinones, again, using those kicks well, though. He likes to use that front foot front kick just to keep the other fighter, again, away. But Hudson still countering very well off Quinones' attacks. Nice long-ranging left jab from Hudson. Notice he fights equally from a southpaw as well as an orthodox stance. In other words, he's got right foot forward at one time, left foot forward another time. That makes him very flexible and very hard to predict.
A little bit of a knockdown there. Hudson putting Quinones back. Interesting, I think, you know, the second half here, this seems to be more of a measured fight. Each fighter seems to kind of know the other guy now, and they're taking more almost predictable shots.
Yeah,
to a certain degree.
Yeah, and I think that comes with the strategy. They obviously have a lot of respect for each other. And the one thing you don't want to do is just suddenly barge in on another fighter you have respect for. You can easily be taken out.
And Quinones gave up a point there to Shannon Hudson, so count 1 point for the New England Strikers and penalty. And back to the action, and if Shannon the Cannon Hudson has the advantage here, then New York and the Clash are not going to be so happy from a team standpoint, giving up obviously a penalty point and a win if it comes to that.
Yeah, it's not the time to be giving away penalties, that's for sure. And this is again where a fighter's pre-training comes in. You must adjust to these rules. If you're used to Muay Thai rules or kickboxing rules, you'll have to readjust. You have to relearn a lot of very reflexive movements. As I said, by not clinching, by following up leg kicks straight away with hand combinations, etc.
Well, the Strikers and Hudson certainly feel that they won that one. Judges will give us the final score against three judges. It's the 5-point must system. Both guys out of gas, and rightly so. It was a pretty good match.
A nice right hand counter there from Hudson. But Quinones just not quite finding his reach there. He nearly hit the mark with that right hand to the chin of Hudson. Well-fought match.
Shannon the Cannon Hudson on your right. New England Strikers in the blue. And yes, kind of almost as predicted. Hudson 15-8 over Quinones. So that is good news for the New England Strikers. New York still some work to do. New England leading now 97-73. And we've got 5 more matches to go in the second half. It's a tight fight so far. New England Strikers over New York here in the World Combat League as we enter match 8 now. Rami Ibrahim and Tommy Bach. There is Tommy Bach. Ibrahim fighting for the New York Clash. And again, the Clash losing match 7. So now they need to make sure they don't lose 2 in a row.
Yep, Tommy Bach needs to go in the back now for the New England Strikers. Let's see if again if he's got what it takes. Both fighters still very equal. I thought Tommy Bach did very well in that first match. I think it's going to be quite a close round once again. Yeah,
the first match between these two guys decided by a difference of only 3 points. So a very evenly matched fight. Both fighters very skilled, obviously. And once they've gone through one fight, measured each other up, perhaps someone has found a weak spot here in match number 2.
Absolutely. Ibrahim seeming to get a little busier than he did in the first round. Tommy Bach seemed busier the first time they met. But again, Tommy Bach's learned a lot. And remembering, too, that what people forget is this is where the coaches come in. The halftime that you saw, the coach is the one that's got to get to the fighter and discuss new strategy. If his fighter had a loss, how can he prevent that happening again? And if the fighter's smart, he's going to listen to the experience of his coach.
Ibrahim went nose first down to the mat. No harm, no foul. Back to the fight.
Tommy Bach, very effective then. Side kick, spinning kick, which missed its mark, but still managing to keep the strong hands of Ibrahim at bay. Tommy Bach down on his back. Referee Cecil Peebles just calls it a slip. Tommy Bach dropping that guard down. Not a wise thing to do against a fighter like Ibrahim. I'd be keeping those hands right up. Ibrahim's capable of taking you out. Bach countering again with a nice hand combination to the body and head of Ibrahim. I'm still worried about Bach keeping those hands down as low as he is. Ooh, just catch Ibrahim with a nice right hand, though.
You got to kind of wonder if Bach's just trying to lure him inside, maybe, and get him in there, and then give him a good whack, you know, when he's not expecting of him.
Absolutely, and a lot of fighters will do that. If they feel confident, they'll drop their hands in order to invite what is an obvious head strike and then counter accordingly.
Play a little possum.
Absolutely. You got to have the confidence, and you got to have the goods to back it up if you're going to do that. Because if you happen to wear it on the chin, you're going to go down like the best.
I was going to say, you better have a pretty good jaw.
Bach throwing some nice kicks, though. Again, trying to keep Ibrahim back. There's that left side kick.
Cecil Peoples urging the fight here because, again, in the World Combat League, passivity, if you're not in the fight, if you're not throwing something, punches or kicks, and if you're backing away, you could give a point to your opponent just for not being in the fight.
A nice aggressive flurry from Ibrahim, then taking the fight to Bach. Exactly what he needs to do again, as I keep saying, to get the judges' attention. They like aggression. They like a stand-up fighter.
Both guys have opened up the fuel reserves now. We're late in this 3-minute match, and there's a big smile. Good fight and great energy to finish this thing out. Rami, Ibrahim, Tommy Bach, and Ibrahim certainly for the New York Flash, hoping to come away with a victory because they need some kind of momentum for New York.
Nice show of sportsmanship, too, from both fighters, Doug, at the end of that, which is so important. The WCL stands for sportsmanship, stands for good character as well as a good fighter with good heart. That particular match. We
mentioned first match, 3 points separated them, and here only 1 point. So yeah, as even as you all saw it, and we did too. New England 110 now, New York 85. So all in all, not much has changed in this race to a winner here in Uncasville, Connecticut. 4 matches to go. Match number 9 was pretty intense. Terrence Keith for the New York Clash and Joey Greenhall. And Greenhall would end up the winner in this one.
Yeah, Greenhall again managed to get also a point, a penalty, a point that was awarded against Keith. That always helps, and if you're getting the 15+1, that's a good incentive for the rest of the team.
So great news for the New England Strikers, a win, but only by a couple of points. Strikers now 126, New York 96. Match 10, it was the very same story. Alex Beck in match number 10 would take on Chuck Jewell because Mo Fauzi couldn't go in the second half. This one decided for the New England Strikers as well. Beck putting on a good show.
Yes, Doug, Alex Beck just too strong for Chuck Jewell. Throwing some nice combinations. Jewell hung in there, but I think the experience of Beck really showed through.
For Alex Beck and the Strikers, it's good news, 15-10 over Jewell. New York has got to be wondering, what can we do to get back in the game now? Only 2 matches to go, and the gap now 141 to 106. New England firmly in control as we head into match 11. And this will be the second to last match. Carlos Tierney is going to take on Jose Lorerio. He is in for Ricardo de Sousa, who could not go for the New England Strikers in this second half.
Lorerio up for a tough match against Tierney, who did so well. Such a sharp competitor in the first match that we saw him in tonight.
3 minutes of nonstop action, and if you're Jose Lorero for the New England Strikers, that may not be the greatest of news going against such a tough guy as Carlos Tierney.
Oh, beautiful right-left leg combination there from Tierney. Nice timing. See him just popping out of the way rather than attempting to block the leg kick. He just evades it. Lorero trying well. He's got to stop dropping those hands out when he throws those kicks, especially against someone like Carlos Tierney, who can easily take you out with those hands.
Biggest help for the New York Clash right now mathematically would be obviously a knockout, maybe a couple of penalty points, but it's almost all but decided for the New England Strikers. We're in that mode now where there's a lot of pride on the line. Carlos Tierney is a guy who certainly wants to come away with a win regardless, and he wants his team to have pride when they walk out the door tonight here from the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, where they've been wonderful hosts for the World Combat League.
Tierney putting on the pressure here, showing some really nice timing. I love his evasion from those attacks from the New England Strikers team, mate Lorero. Both fighters try again, mutual respect for each other. Oh, nice straight left attack from there from Tierney. Spinning back kick is a counter strike again from Tierney.
So Lorero, as the alternate fighter, basically needs to come in, stay in the fight for the New England Strikers, help ensure the victory for them tonight. There, he takes it right on the face, right in the middle of the nose from Carlos Tierney.
That was a nice straight left from Tierney that dropped Lorero right flat in his back. Referee Cecil Peoples giving him the standing 8 count. Again, Peoples, a very experienced referee. His job is to look after the fighters, making sure that he's coherent enough to go on with the match. Tierney now would want to take advantage of the fact that Lorero would still be seeing stars a little bit. Lorero still hanging in there, though, fighting with a lot of heart, trying to avoid having Tierney take advantage of that knockdown. Tierney showing beautiful timing. Look at the slips and misses in that. It's a pleasure to watch him work. Counter side kick. Just a bit of a loss of balance there.
Tierney being cheered on by his New York Clash teammates, a team until the very end, obviously.
Boy, he uses that straight left beautifully. He fakes a little bit with that left leg as though he's throwing a front kick, and then comes with that straight left, and he scored well against Lorero with that particular technique.
And that is going to do it for match number 11 with 1 to go. Carlos Tierney, it was a good fight, likely came out with the victory, had just a little bit of an edge throughout this fight over Lorero.
You just saw that short right hand from Tierney right in the chin of Lorero, nearly knocked him down, just made his legs go a little wobbly, and there's that straight left taking Lorero to the canvas.
There's the reaction just outside the ring, and Carlos Tierney, he has done it for the New York Clash as far as a win, 15-6 over Lorero, but mathematically doesn't much matter at this point. New England will win it tonight. 147 that they have on the board now with 1 more match to go. The women will wrap things up in match number 12. To do that, match number 12 tonight, Jennifer Santiago takes on Soli Vidal Ortiz. And in the first time when they met earlier tonight, it was Santiago with a 15-11 win over Vidal Ortiz. So maybe we got two battles working here. We got pride for Santiago. We got Vidal Ortiz, who wants to avenge her loss in the first match.
Absolutely, and I think no matter what the score would be, you're going to see 2 warriors going for it in this match. The women never fail to please. I mean, look at the leather right in the beginning of this match. Neither fighter showing any quarter.
Santiago slip early on her back. She's back up.
Obviously, for the audience, when you see the referee just rub the gloves up and down the pants, that's just to get rid of any dust or anything that might have got on the gloves when the fighter slips and falls to the mat. Santiago with the right round kick the leg there. Both fighters again just trading alpha leather. Vidal Ortiz showing great hands, great boxer's hands, but Santiago fighting a little differently in this match. She's tending to stand and hold her ground, not using that sideways stepping motion that she used the first time they fought.
And she's also getting, there we see a right knee strike, but she is really just going toe-to-toe and exchanging punches and really using all of her boxing skills here in the final match.
And notice the way she couples it with the knees. throws those head combinations, throws a low knee. That tends to really mess with the other fighter's concentration. Not sure where the next strike is coming from. I'm impressed with Santiago. She's really taking it to Ortiz in a different way in this particular round.
Now, for when they meet again down the road, this could be good news for the Clash and Jennifer Santiago. New England strikers, as we mentioned, will win it, but pride is on the line right now. Reputations. Very classy fighters fighting until the very end. There we see clinching going on, not allowed here in the World Combat League, and a point given to Soli Vidal Ortiz. Santiago holding on too much.
Yeah, again, with the change of style of Santiago, she's got to be a little careful when she gets in tight like that. The tendency is reflexively to just hang on when you get yourself in a bit of trouble. Ortiz then was the one trying to do a little bit of grabbing herself. Very impressive match, though. I mean, these two women have wonderful, wonderful hands. Santiago still trying to take it to Ortiz. As you say, it's a matter of prestige for the team. You know, you finish off with a good bang, and Santiago's definitely trying to do that.
We're in the final minute of what has been a great war here in Connecticut tonight. World Combat League. The turf wars have begun. There you see another penalty point now going New England's way, so 144 for them now. Mathematically, they will win it. Jennifer Santiago does not want to go out a loser, though, in this ring tonight.
No, Ortiz, notice her hands a little lower. As I say, this is where the conditioning of the fighters really comes into play. You've got to have that anaerobic endurance in order to keep this sort of pressure up. Your body starts screaming for that oxygen. You know, your brain says go and your body's saying, I can't.
Vidal Ortiz doing everything she can to secure a victory here in the second meeting for these women tonight. She lost the first one to Santiago by just 4 points, and this will be a tight one again. Two great warriors battling it out.
Vidal Ortiz. Ortiz just not quite as strong in the hand department in this time around. I think Santiago just putting so much pressure on her. She's scoring with left and right combination. Ortiz fighting, trying desperately to fight back. There was a left knee and a right round kick from Santiago, scoring well on the body of Vidal Ortiz.
Santiago, what an absolute warrior. And it pays off again for her. New York Clash get 14 points. Vidal Ortiz only 11, but doesn't matter. New England will win it despite the great effort from Santiago. 161, 135. New England over New York. The World Combat League here at the Mohegan Sun, and another successful night and another night of great fights. Could not be a happier night for the World Combat League founder Chuck Norris. Congratulations again to the New England Strikers over New York. 161-135. Great fights on a great night from the Mohegan Sun here in Uncasville, Connecticut. For Richard Norton and the entire World Combat League crew, I'm Doug Dunbar. Thanks for watching. So long from Connecticut.
They do not train to be merciful. Mercy is for the weak. In the world of the warrior, it's about the glory of winning. Find out who is going to be declared this year's World Combat.
Tonight on the World Combat League, the Western Conference Finals. The LA Stars take on the Texas Dragons. LA is led by undefeated world point karate champion Raymond Real Deal Daniels and the agile yet powerful skills of Donald the Grinch Vickers. The Texas Dragons will unleash Freddie Poole, who brings speed and power to his home state, and watch for Marilee Martin to show the skills that made her the pride of Canadian kickboxing. Stars, Dragons, the WCL Western Conference Finals.
Welcome to the league where the weak get dropped, where the kicks don't miss, knockouts don't stop. If you slip, that's it, you'll be laying on a mat. Let's get ready for combat. This blood, sweat, and tears, I hold back my fears. My team needs a win, I must persevere. I dig deep for strength, and with my last breath, I fight for the right, for the title of the best in the world. Combat, 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 combat.
World Combat League is on the air, and we welcome you to the beautiful city of Austin, Texas. We are inside the Frank Irwin Center tonight, and a big battle brewing between the Los Angeles Stars and the hometown Texas Dragons. Teams are set to enter the fight circle tonight here in Austin inside the Irwin Center. And first up for the LA Stars, meet Raymond Daniels, the real deal at 195 pounds and a lot of power. Tyann Mays backing him up. On the women's side, Alicia Ashley will enter the ring tonight. You'll also see Jack Felton for LA. Donald Vickers, very tough guy to watch. Angel Valerio in the ring tonight, and the LA Stars are coached by Colin Van Duzen. LA Stars will make their way into the ring, and final introductions will come for the hometown Texas Dragons.
And now your home team. Please welcome the Texas Dragons.
For the Dragons tonight, the always tough, a guy you got to watch for, Lawrence Baker, 195 pounds, and then Freddie Poole, dynamite in the ring. Marilee Martin for the women's side, 128-pounder at 5'7". Sante Wilson Jr. at 46 years of age will climb in. Mike Shepard in the ring tonight as well for Texas, and Fabrizio Bergamini. And they are coached by Trey Telligman for the Texas Dragons. Guy Mesger, who do you like tonight?
That's going to be a tough one to say. This is a classic matchup between power out of the Texas Dragons and speed of the LA Stars. So this is going to be interesting to see which one of these guys gets to impose their will. That's what it's going to come down to.
So the rules as we get underway with the World Combat League, all punching skills and all kicking skills are allowed. Knee strikes have to be to the body and or to the head. Also, no stalling. If you're not in the fight, you can award a point to your opponent. 3 judges looking at this on the 5-point must system. That is the World Combat League. And if you see a knockout, which you likely will, it's a straight 15-0 score. Our fighters in the first fight for the LA Stars, Donald Vickers, and for Texas, Mike Shepard. Here's a closer look.
Los Angeles Stars Donald Vickers. Donald is an 8-time continuous fighting champion. He is looking for only one thing.
Stand toe-to-toe and see who goes down first.
Texas Dragons' Michael Shepard has the power to keep his opponents alert. He is a king of the gladiators and ranked number 4 in the world by the IKF.
I've spent thousands of hours in the gym to be the best I can be.
We'll find out how good he is. Mike Shepard for the Texas Dragons, and for LA, Donald the Grinch Vickers. Big boys and big punches, and a slip early there for Shepard on his back, but no harm, no foul.
Yeah, these two guys are classic opposite style fighters. As you see, Donald Vickers very agile for a big man. And Mike Shepard's kind of your kind of classical kickboxing style fighter who prods in, and he's got a big punch. So, he's got to work inside to work, get those big punches going, whereas, Vickers is going to be a lot more agile, moving around his opponent a lot more.
Yeah, Vickers trying to make the quick strikes, get back out, get back in immediately. Doesn't seem to be doing an enormous amount of damage there. The right kick to the midsection.
Yeah, Mike has good defense, as you can see. He's real solid, keeps his hands up, and he tries to wade in by there, so it's good work by Mike.
Shepard forcing Vickers out. Now back to the fighting.
To Vickers, this kid has really got some speed for a big man. Most of the guys at this weight are not nearly this agile. And this is gonna be a much tougher fight than Mike probably anticipated at first.
Shepard was trying to keep some separation with the kicks, work the counters, and Vickers not having any of it. He wants to spar up top for the most part, it seems like.
Oh, good knee by Mike Shepard there. Good job pulling his head down into that knee. It was a good shot. Vickers took a pretty good shot. He's a well-conditioned athlete.
Timeout is called. I think we got a cut on the head of Mike Shepard. Get the doctor ringside, take a good look at that.
It'll be interesting to see where that came from. It might have been from a clash of heads. I didn't really see a punch that looked significant enough to cut him, but you never know. Because it's, where he's cut right there on that eyebrow area is where most of the common cuts come. There sharp bones there, and if you, head to head or a good solid punch, you can get opened up pretty good there.
And here goes Vickers on the attack now, and Shepard fighting back solid, but Vickers, now that he sees blood, he wants to open that thing up even more, hurt him even worse. And Shepard down in the ring now.
Yeah, they're going to call that a knockdown, and I think Mike is trying to make a case that he slipped down, but now Vickers is very strong. Came in strong with some good punches. You know, he thought Mike was probably hurt from that cut, and he's trying to take advantage of it.
There you saw Shepard kind of mouthing, I'm all right, but here goes Vickers again on the attack, trying to finish the job, but Shepard not going to let him in.
You know, to be honest, these guys are really throwing down, and for heavyweights, this is a lot. Oh, good knee by Mike Shepard. I guess they tumbled out of bounds there.
Both guys down. Shepard out of the ring. He'll be walked back in. No penalty points here. Back to the fighting, and Vickers trying to take a little momentum right into the jaw of Shepard.
Mike's style is to press the fight, push it forward, which may not be good at this point. There's a slip by Vickers. Now, Vickers is very quick for a big man. He can move in and around him. So Mike needs to change up his style if he's going to be, wants to win this fight.
What a battle between these two big men, slugging it out in the final 10 seconds. Every ounce of energy nearly gone from both, but doing their best to do something with the fight. Very tough brawl between these two guys.
That's a very good fight. These guys really let it go. Again, this is kind of a trademark WCL type fight. These guys are big heavyweights throwing a lot of punches.
I was real close, putting them away. It's tough.
Very, very close fight. It'll be interesting to see how they score this with that knockdown.
Match 1 of 12 on the night. Vickers the winner, 15-6 over Shepard, who did his best to stay in the fight. 15-6, LA Stars lead, but we got a lot more action to go here in Austin, Texas. Welcome back, everybody. Austin, Texas, World Combat League in the Western Conference Finals, and for the LA Stars, Jack Felton and the Dragon, Sante Wilson Jr. Here's a closer look.
LA Stars' Jack Felton is a warrior that has fought all over the world. He cites teammate Ray Daniels as an inspiration. This will be Jack's first time in the WCL.
I have heart, I have speed, and I have strength.
Texas Dragon's Sante Wilson. He's a former ISKA featherweight champion and is fast and quick and in a hurry to execute.
I would never give up.
You got to think that Jack Felton's going to be in a hurry to execute there. Felton there closest to you in the silver for the LA Stars. And there he is trying to get inside early on Sante Wilson Jr. And again, for Felton, first ever appearance in the WCL. Guy, you got to think he's jacked up a little bit, and he's throwing a lot of punches early.
Yeah, this is kind of the LA trademark. Very fast, quick punches, and there he overran Sante's balances there. And that's also kind of a classic karate style fight, is to overrun the balances of their opponents. So he's looking really good. There's a lot of action thrown. These are the lightweights. These guys tend to throw a lot of techniques. Now, Sante's got...
and down he goes. Knockdown or not, or off balance? No knockdown.
It was a good throw, which is not really a legal technique in WCL.
So Wilson there being attacked by Jack Felton. Again, first ever appearance in the WCL. So Felton making a nice appearance for the LA Stars here in the second match.
Yeah, he seems to be, Sante's having a tough time catching this kid. He's fast, he's in and out. It's going to get very difficult to get hold of him. Felton's fighting a very smart fight against Sante. Sante is a power puncher for a lightweight fighter. He has that knockout power. There Felton is, again, overruns his balances. They said this is kind of a classic karate style attack, is to overrun the balances, and not that it does a huge amount of damage, but it does, knock the fighter off his feet.
Well, you got 3 judges watching, and every time a fighter ends up on his back, whether it's a slip or not, it's indelibly in the mind. We'll see what happens at the end of the fight, but here goes Felton on the attack, trying to get more points for the LA Stars. No penalty points as of yet. They're the left knee.
Yeah, Sante needs to start using his combinations a little more. You can see that he's kind of waiting for Felton to come in, and he's going to try to counter him with these big punches, which I think is probably a mistake on his part. Felton is obviously the faster fighter. So Sante needs to sit there and initiate the attack and hopefully draw Felton into a slugfest, which, you know, Sante feels he's going to win. And Felton's doing a good job. He's overrunning Sante's balances, putting him down. And that, like you stated earlier, that is going to be in the minds of the judges. And also the fans. They're seeing that Sante, again.
There he goes again. Sante, that's got to be 5 or 6 times now. And whether it's off balance or not, here both guys coming on the inside attack. Judges are going to remember it. Fans are going to remember it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It does weigh on the scoring. Again, what I said, Sante needs to be more aggressive forward to stop the match because, he stepped out of bounds. Oh, good knee by Felton. That was a good technique. Sante looked like he picked most of it off on his glove, but that was a really good technique. That's the kind of stuff, Felton needs to do more of.
Well, I got to tell you, first time ever for the WCL for Jack Felton for the LA Stars there in the silver pants, and that was one heck of an effort for the novice in the World Combat League, and for Sante Wilson Jr., maybe more of a fight than he anticipated.
Just being first to go out there, set the tone for the rest of the team. Give him some points, give him some leeway.
There's Felton doing a really good job of keeping Sante off balance.
And it pays off for him, Guy. 15-9, Felton over Sante Wilson Jr. So now for the LA Stars, they build a 30-15 lead.
Match 3, the ladies are in the ring. It's Alicia Ashley and Marilee Martin. And a closer look at these two ladies now.
LA Stars Alicia Ashley. A WCL veteran who can change styles at any time to punish her opponent.
Don't ever underestimate me.
Texas Dragons' Marilee Martin. This Taekwondo champion from Canada has learned to savor her successes.
I am a hard worker and will do everything in my power to be the best.
Should be a pretty good fight, Guy Mesger. The 39 and the 36-year-old Marilee Martin, the younger of the two, and both of them fairly solid records.
Oh, these girls are awesome. In fact, all the girls in the World Combat League have been sealing the show. Non-stop action, well-conditioned. It's pretty awesome. I mean, look at these ladies go. Good shot by Alicia.
So there in the right, Alicia Ashley.
Oh, good knee.
Nice knee. Marilee Martin in the blue for the Texas Dragons.
Now, Marilee is working really hard on that support leg of Alicia. It'll be interesting to see how this works later in the round. Because it's like taking a really bad body shot.
So and they're a little bit of a knockdown. Not sure if we scored that way for Alicia, but interesting to note the first two matches with the guys, Guy, we see a ton of fists flying. Here, we're working the legs a lot more.
Well, you're looking at the heavyweights. They generally rely on their boxing, where these girls tend to be a little bit more versed. They rely a little bit heavier on their kicking because that's really their strongest shoe. It's generally more powerful than their boxing skills. It was just a nice push down there by Alicia.
Alicia Ashley, fight record, 12 wins and a draw. Marilee Martin, experienced in Thai boxing, 3-0 there.
Yeah, Marilee is really working that leg. And that leg, I'll tell you, when you take those leg kicks, that's like taking a really bad body shot. And it wears you down. Your ability to move, your ability to set down your power punches, all becomes, a bit of a problem when you're getting kicked in the legs a whole bunch.
Ashley looks like she's trying to set her up with the kick and then work her way inside.
Oh, nice punch by Ashley. Ashley's coming in with her head down like that, and that's giving Marilee the opportunity to throw the knee, but she held on too long. You're only allowed to grab a knee, then you have to release. She threw 2 knees, and that's actually a foul.
And you just saw there that foul. That's a point for LA, penalty point. Two-thirds of the way through the 3-minute match.
Yeah, as you can see, Ashley's having a harder time now because of these kicks to the legs to actually getting her distance down for her punches. And there you go. Front kick to the face. Awesome, awesome kick. Just shows you exactly how tough Ashley is. She just bounced back like it was nothing. That was a hellacious kick.
Boy, Martin, precise, right to the head.
Again, that's the advantage of the leg kick. The leg kick actually, sets up the high kick as they get kicked in the leg. you know, they start worrying about that, then the shot comes up to the face, just like Marilee did.
And the penalty point there as Ashley goes down, so we're even on penalty points. Now the standing 8.
Yeah, she got hit. Really hard kick, dropped her. She looks fine. She doesn't look hurt. Yeah, she's ready to go. Again, that was a great example of a really, really good fight between these ladies.
Now to the Total Gym replay.
You over pursue, you know, you might get caught with something. You know, she got me a couple of times with low kicks, but, you know, I got to use my strengths a little bit more.
Well, Ashley put in a great effort for the LA Stars, but for the first time, the Texas Dragons, the hometown team, get a little love. 15 points for them, 16-8 the final with the penalty points involved. So Texas getting closer to LA now, 38-31, LA still in the lead. World Combat League in Austin, Texas, LA leading the Dragons by 7 points. Angel Valerio and Fabrizio Bergamini about to get in the ring.
LA Stars Angel the Terminator Valerio says fighting in the WCL is a dream come true. His fighting heroes are Bill Superfoot Wallace and Benny the Jet Arquidez.
I will never quit.
Texas Dragons' Fabrizio Bergamini is a former WAKO world champion and credits his brother, Melchior Minore, for his fighting abilities.
I just want to fight.
And he's going to get his chance. Fabrizio Bergamini in the ring with Angel Valerio, the 28-year-old, 32 wins, and he is an aggressive guy.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Fabrizio fight here. He is a powerhouse. He is the most experienced international fighter in the whole league. And this guy, he's normally a 164-pounder, but the Texas Dragons needed the heavier weight, and he said no problem. He's willing to step up and fight. Fabrizio there closest to you in the blue. Valerio in the gray for the LA Stars, who hold the lead right now. Oh, good kick. Good tap. Angel stepped out of the ring on that one, saved him from getting his head chopped off. You heard the ref calling, can't hold. You got to punch, no passivity. You can't lock it up. Got to stay active. Yeah, Fabrizio is going to have to break that habit. He is the type of guy, he's a Thai boxing expert. He'll grab and throw multiple knees, but that's not allowed in the World Combat League. Oh, good inside kick. That had to hurt. A very good punch. Oh, good knees. Good knees, and there you go again, just what we were talking about. Fabrizio locking him up a little bit. Oh, very good knees. On the inside there, Angel's got to stay away or he's going to be eating these knees. You think 4 or 5 times coming in for Fabrizio. He, you know, every time he locks him up, he gets the knee. You'd figure he'd back out of that. Well, pain can be a wonderful teacher, so we'll have to see how it goes. Fabrizio's just stalking him down, trying to get his distance. Oh, good shot out of nowhere. Fabrizio down. He is going to get the 8 count. Look at him shaking his head. He doesn't want the 8 count, but he's going to have it anyway. I think he thought he slipped down, but it was obvious the punch, you know, aided him on his slip down. He's got to get busy now. Oh, good right hand. He's got to get busy. That knockdown, it puts a lot of points down on, you know, very good knees. Oh, good left hook. Fabrizio's not fooling around. He knows that the point's at, and he's going to be trying to get this knockout. Bergamini with an intense flurry coming out of the standing 8 count. Holding him too long. Again, he's just holding him too long, and the audience doesn't quite understand that. You hear the boos. So Valerio and the LA Stars get a penalty point there. That's a classic stalling technique. He's throwing a kick that's like next to impossible to land because he's getting tagged by Fabrizio. Oh, good shot! Holy smokes! Oh my goodness, that was a good shot. Valerio, is he rattled? That's the question. Now coming in for the kill, Bergamini. He's holding. Oh! Valerio looks like he's hurt. Yeah, oh yeah, he's got it tough. He's got 3 seconds. He better hold on. Saved by the horn, literally. You got to know that Angel was very, very, very happy to hear that bell.
I wanted to throw a show for the crowd. I think I did that, and I think we're in the lead now, so LA's pretty good so far in this half. We're ready to do the same thing in the second half and dominate.
Valerio doing some good work for the LA Stars, still holding the lead after a very tough fight. So Valerio 15 points on that match, Bergamini 9. And not everybody's sitting well with that decision, but it is what it is. LA the lead now, a 14-point gap.